With the finale of the 4th season of Stranger Things just being released, I wanted to take a deeper look into how the show's cinematography helps aid the story, helps transport the viewer back into the 80s, and what really makes the show's visual style so nostalgic and unique. This is the cinematography of Stranger Things. From the beginning, Stranger Things creators, the Duffer Brothers, always expressed they wanted the show to look more like a movie and not like a traditional TV show. They drew inspiration from countless movies from the 80s and 90s that they grew up watching to help craft the look and really help transport the viewer back into the era of the 1980s. With immense attention to detail and a ton of tests in pre-production, the show's cinematographer for seasons 1 to 3, Tim Ives, tried to use lighting techniques as if it was lit in the era it was set in, while also complementing it with modern-day techniques and technology.
The look of the show was obviously very important to us, and that we wanted it to look as much as possible like a movie.
E.T., Goonies, Stand By Me, and a lot of the references that you've heard us talk about, they're beautiful, but they're not necessarily current style of lighting. I really felt like I could bring something to the show that would help make it actually feel like it was shot back then, using some of the styles of lighting that maybe aren't currently in vogue, but certainly were in vogue back then.
We're basically trying to recreate the feeling that we got when we watched these movies. And we grew up watching a lot of movies from the 80s and early 90s.
In the latest season, director of photography Caleb Heyman took the reins as the lead cinematographer for the majority of the episodes of season 4. I was lucky enough to meet Caleb a few months back and chat briefly with him about the experience of shooting the 4th season of Stranger Things, but unfortunately he couldn't tell me much at the time because the season hadn't been released yet. One of the things he did mention was the sheer length of time they had to shoot for, partially because of pandemic-related delays, but also because of the sheer length of the episodes, with the final episode of the season clocking in at just under 2.5 hours. Essentially, they had to shoot almost 9 different movies, with each episode being well over an hour. Caleb worked alongside the cinematographer of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd season, Tim Ives, as a 2nd unit director of photography on the 3rd season of Stranger Things, which really helped him prepare for shooting this 4th season. While maintaining the classic Stranger Things look, Season 4's cinematography differs not only in the creative person behind the cinematography, but also in the fact that they had so many different locations to shoot in. With so many different characters spread out on so many different locations, a look had to be created for each different area that characters were in. In Season 4, we see the bulk of the action happening in more than half a dozen locations, with some of the kids traveling around California, some of them are still back in Hawkins or in the upside-down version of Hawkins, Hopper and Joyce stuck in Russia, and Eleven in her earlier days in Hawkins' lab, as well as stuck underground trying to get her powers back. This creates a much larger creative canvas for the show's look to change beyond what has been done in previous seasons. I really feel like the Duffer Brothers and all the cinematographers of this season took the time to craft a look for each set of characters in each different location they were in, all while trying to preserve that nice classic look of Hawkins that's been on all of the previous seasons. With that said, I also do feel like the use of color this season was much more pronounced than in previous seasons. The amount of tungsten and blue or blue and red color contrast that was used really stood out as a prominent creative decision, especially in the scenes in Hawkins as well as the upside down version of Hawkins. While it's nowhere near the amount of color used in something like HBO's Euphoria, you have to wonder if they took some inspiration and injected it into this season of Stranger Things 4. All in all, I was impressed with the beautiful lighting of this season, as well as the seamless transitions it had with the countless visual effects shots they had. Especially considering the length of the season, I'm extremely impressed with what the team was able to pull off. I'm super excited to see how they continue to change and innovate and evolve the look as we go into the 5th and final season of Stranger Things, but for now, I'm thoroughly enjoying what they've put out there. If you enjoyed watching this video or got some value out of it, click the like button down below because it helps share it with other people who might be interested in hearing about Stranger Things' cinematography. Also click the subscribe button if you want to see more videos just like this one, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.